Hi, this is Jerry with I Love RV Life. Joan and I are getting ready to take a long trip, and we're going to be on a section of some really bad road. We've got to do something about the front end of our 1-ton truck. It's about to jar us to death. We're going to try out some Coil SumoSprings and see how these are going to help. Hi, this is Jerry, and if you saw the recent video where we put SumoSprings on our Montana, this is a 19,500 pound, 42-foot fifth wheel. It's heavy, it's long, and I'm not going to beat it to death like we did our previous fifth wheel. So here you can see the video where we put SumoSprings over the axles, and the difference was marketable. It was really amazing. Matter of fact, so much that you can see at the end of the video where we put a glass of water right there on the dining room table as we went down the road, hitting bridge oscillations. And I even proved it by putting a camera up underneath as well, filming it, so you can see the bridges go up and down, and you can see the axles, how soft they respond. The change was marketable. Then we traveled 800 miles of various types of road, oscillation, potholes, everything else, bad bridge access and departures. And I could look at the rear view mirror and I could literally see the softness of how those axles moved. And on top of that, we no longer felt that shock of that up and down in the back of the truck, you know, because that the fifth wheel goes up and down, and it's going to translate to the hitch, and you're going to feel it up in your ride. That went away. We did not expect that. But we have still an issue. We have a ton dually. And I don't care whether you have a Ford, a Chevy, a Dodge, what you have. These things are work trucks, and they've got very stiff suspensions for a reason. They're made to carry very heavy loads. You know, they're not like these heavy-duty haulers that you see going up and down the highway that have air suspensions under them. These things are shocks and coils. And because of that, if you're carrying thousands and thousands of pounds, or you're not carrying any weight at all, when you hit potholes, or our biggest issue, sometimes I can dodge a pothole. Our two biggest issues are that continuing oscillation of uneven concrete that you get in some states. Some are really terrible. And then other locations where you're driving down the road and you have those sharp, what I call access and departures on bridges, where you literally take that shock, you know, so much that it almost jars the eye teeth out of your head. You know, it's just bang, you feel it. And then when you come off the bridge, bang, you feel it again. Well, I contacted SumoSprings and I went, gosh, is there anything that you have that's available? Because we're incredibly impressed with what it did for our fifth wheel with SumoSprings. And they go, by the way, we do have a product. It's super easy to install. Try a set of our Coil SumoSprings. That's right, they're Coil SumoSprings. A lot different than what you're going to see in the video. This is all it is to it. These literally will thread and wrap inside about mid-span of the coil springs. I'm going to show you how to install them. They're going to be really easy. The premise behind these, this is not rubber, this is some type of a polymer. You can go out to SumoSpringsinternational.com, see some videos, see the write-up about these, see how to order these. But the premise is, as those springs compress and expand, this takes the jarring or the shear out of that front end. We'll see. My understanding is most of your Class Bs that are coming out of Thor and some of the other industries, these are now stock. These are a common component because those big heavy-duty, you know, Class B Sprinter vans, again, are work vehicles, not luxury vehicles, and those work vehicles become luxury vehicles, and these are now a stock component in most of those, according to SumoSprings. So we're going to put these on the F350. I think the install is going to be minutes, so this video isn't going to be long. I brought the F350 inside the garage so I can have a good, clean, flat space to be able to work on. And I could probably do this in the campground just as easy as well. You're going to need a couple tools. One is either the bottle jack that comes with your truck. If you use that bottle jack, strongly recommend using some type of a jack stand to give yourself some safety support. I'm just going to be using a floor jack that I happen to have. Again, I'm not going to be lifting the truck up in the air per se. I'm not going to be bringing the tires up off the ground. I'm just going to raise the truck just high enough to take the pressure off the springs so that these will fit in between that gap a little bit easier. The other tool I'm going to be using is just a basic little spray bottle. I put just a little bit of water and a little bit of dish detergent in here just to give me some lubrication to be able to work around the springs. This isn't permanent. This is going to wash off, and it's not something like using a spray oil or something like that. That would be a more permanent thing, and I don't want that inside these springs. Now, something else I should mention that's very, very important. The human hand cannot compress these center springs. This material that's being used is very, very dense. No matter what you try to do, you're not going to be able to compress this down small enough to wrap inside the coil spring. The reason that I bring this up is there's two ways to be able to order these springs. One, you can put in the model number of your vehicle and it will give you the suggested spring. I would strongly suggest that you use this link that's below here and measure your springs, and according to the instructions, you want to go 1/16 of an inch smaller than what your measurement is from your space. In other words, go out, get your, with the truck on the ground. Don't jack it up or anything. Just get your measuring tape, measure that distance, cut your tires, measure that distance that you have, subtract 1/16 of an inch, and then using the link that I shared with you and this website here, you can put in the number that you had and it will give you the recommended Coil Sumo spring. That's very, very important. Here's why. This vehicle has 65,000 miles on it. I will assure you that the factory springs that came on here are somewhat compressed after hitting bridges and potholes, towing that camper, bouncing up and down. Those springs have compressed some. A 1/4 of an inch difference, you're not going to be able to compress these springs down enough to be able to fit them in if it's a 1/4 of an inch too short for these to fit in. So other than that, that's how simple it is. Just order the right springs, jack the truck up just a little bit to get the pressure off, use a little bit of water and dish detergent, and let's go ahead and get these springs on. I can't wait to see how these are going to work for us. Okay, you can see the distance in the springs here, about 1.25 fingers or so, something like 1.25 fingers, 1.5 fingers. Be a little bit of a tight fit here to get these started, but we'll get them in here without any trouble. Again, make sure the springs are clean and then take just a little bit of soapy water. Try not to get any on the springs if you don't have to, and then notice there's a deep groove and then a shallow groove. This deep groove goes on the bottom, this goes on the top. So take just a little bit to get these started on these F350s. The springs are pretty close, but once we get them started, they'll just slip right on. There we go. You're popping as they go. Look at that. Pretty simple. That's it. Now they say to put these about two to three coils down from the top, so that's where I'm going to install these. You'll also notice, see the little hole right here. There was an addendum that was placed in the box that said that in some rare instances there may be some loose space in here after you put the springs on, and to put a tie wrap in here. That is not going to be the case with this F350. These are going to be in here good and tight. So I've got my spacing in here. Let's go ahead and lower the truck. And this, we'll do the other side, and we'll call this project done. This project's done. One page installation instructions. You gotta love that. Probably took me longer to pull the truck in here to the garage than to do the project itself. Maybe 15 minutes max is all it took. And that included jacking it up and turning the wheels to be able to gain access to it. No other tools were required. Very, very simple. So what's the goal here? What are we trying to achieve? These trucks are meant to carry tens of thousands of pounds. These F-350s or any large ton, especially a dually. And they have large, very stiff springs in the front end, and should have large, stiff springs in the front end to be able to handle the loads so that the front end doesn't bottom out when you have a lot of weight back in the back. But here's what's happening to us. As we travel down the state roads and the interstates, one of the things that's happening is we're hitting uneven concrete, we're hitting potholes sometimes, and the thing that bothers us the most is the uneven pavement that you have going on access to bridges and as you depart a bridge as you're going down the interstate. You're traveling 65 miles an hour, you hit that bridge and you just take the shock in the front end. And then a secondary thing happens, which we've addressed some of that already, is that if this is the truck and this is the trailer, as you're going down and you hit that shock here with the front, in the back of the fifth wheel or the trailer, it's also going to take a bump and translate that into the truck, again, causing the front end to rock violently sometimes. And our goal is, by putting in these Coil SumoSprings, is we're going to dampen that access and departure to some degree. Now, do I have an expectation this thing is going to ride like a Cadillac? No. But if we can reduce it by a large percentage, that is going to make our travel so much better, and I really think it's going to help maintain the components in our truck and not add wear and tear to that as well. The other thing that we did, and you may have seen the video, we added SumoSprings, the round, tall SumoSprings, to our new Montana. And that's how I came about these. That installation went so well, and I was so impressed. I contacted SumoSprings, said, have you seen this video? They said, we loved it. And I told them about the front end. They said, look, we got a solution for that. The Coil SumoSprings, we're going to send you a pair to try. Okay, so they did provide these Coil springs. And there's no other affiliation that's been set up with SumoSprings, and we appreciate them sending these to us. So what's going to happen from here? We're leaving in 2 days. We're going to be going north, I-75 around Atlanta. Yeah, I know. And if anyone's ever done that 675 to 285 bend to 85, there's a section up there between I-20 and I-285 that is quite ragged. It's not one of my favorite pieces of road. Aside from uneven concrete, that rattle, 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 we're going to have some of that. There's a lot of busted concrete up there where it's, cracked down the middle and it's going to be uneven. We're going to get some of that. And the bridge access, especially when you get over toward I-85 on 285 going north, is really, really rough. And we're going to really get some front end jar, and we'll be able to see how this is going to perform. I complain, Joan complains, and if it's real bad, the kiddies, Mink and Molly, you're going to hear them complain as well. I don't believe that it's going to take 100% of this shock out of the front end. SumoSprings does not say that it will. We're looking for an improvement in dampening. So we're looking forward to see how these springs are going to improve. Proof's going to be in the on-dash video that's coming up now. All right, we're heading north. We are going around Atlanta on 675. And 675 is notorious for uneven concrete. Matter of fact, we feel it right now. I'm not sure if the camera's picking it up, but it's different. We still feel the uneven concrete. I mean, if you probably hear my voice, you hear us going up and down. But we do have a dampening effect. It's not as, I don't know if you want to call it violent or severe. We still get that up and down a little bit, but it is dampened. Here's a really bad spot right here. And not as bad. And when it's really, really bad, Mink back in the back, she's our backseat driver. She'll, like right there was a little bad spot. She'll get real chatty. She doesn't like it at all. And
you can probably hear her.
Yeah, you can definitely hear her. But it's softened it. So before, when we would run on this uneven concrete, it would just bounce, 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 bounce like that. It was very, very severe, just up and down, and it's softened it up a bit. Now, from 675, we're going to go on 285, north to 85, and when we get up into a section up here north of 20, it's going to really be the test. she's going to get really chatty back there. She hates that section of road, and it's just got chunks of concrete missing, and it's just a mess. So when we come back in just a few minutes, we'll see how we're going to be doing on that section of road. All right, you can hear Mink in the background. She is letting us know that we are on 285 north, right past I-20, going to 85. And the good news is, it looks like they're going to pave it. About 10 years too late. But this is rough road. Big patches of asphalt missing. We're just looking at it. And we'll talk to you as we get to some of the rough spots up here. Mostly, it's the bridge accesses that are so bad. And we're coming up on one right here. What I'm noticing since we put the SumoSprings on the back of the trailer, on the back of the fifth wheel, and now with these Coil SumoSprings, we're not getting that up and down rocking movement that we used to get. That's all been dampened out. I mean, if the bridge is really bad, you're going to get a little of it, but the recovery time is much quicker. You still feel it. I mean, we're not going to get rid of the bad bumps. Well, that was the end of that. Thank goodness, Joan. How about you?
Yeah, I'm ready for some smoother road.
Something different.
Yeah.
Anything different. All right, well, let me kind of recap here. Mink is she's settling down a little bit. She got pretty chatty back there, and rightfully so. That section.
To talk.
Yeah, she's letting us talk
she just
too.
wanted to talk so everybody could hear her.
Well, we're on 85 going north, and it's 1,000% better. That section I-20 to I-85 north is just awful. Chunks of concrete missing. Honest to goodness, the bridge access on about half the bridges is just treacherous. But so here's the conclusion of what we're seeing now with SumoSprings on the trailer and then the Coil SumoSprings up front. Yeah, it is a big difference, but again, as I shared earlier in the video, these aren't country Cadillacs. These are heavy-duty trucks. You still feel the shock, but we get a dampening that it settles off really quick. We're not getting that rocking motion forward to back. That's gone. And we have no shift left or right. We didn't have much of that anyway. The other thing is me driving and the steering wheel, I'm not feeling that shock or jar that goes up into the front end. So it's definitely an improvement. I don't think that there's a way other than going through a multi-$1,000, airbag suspension, and I hear good things and I hear bad things about that, going to a total airbag suspension front and back. I'm sure if some of you have done that and want to share it in the comments of the video, I'd be glad to hear that and share it with others. But other than that, I give the Coil SumoSprings for the front end, I give them an A. And the back on the trailer, I definitely give them an A+. All right, well, we love RV life, and we're headed to the mountains.